And welcome back to another episode of the Totally Legitimate Business Podcast. We are your hosts, Clint and James, and let's get down to business. Clint, what does your mug say?
Oh, it says people are poison.
Delicious. Love that.
And so is this coffee. So this will be our last podcast.
Yes,
what's
delightful.
What's going on, man? How was your weekend? Did you do anything crazy?
Nothing too crazy. Just spent some time in front of the good old computer. I was going to ask you about your show. I know you had a show. How did the Void Dancer show go?
It was sick, actually. Yeah, I played in Seattle at a venue called Substation, which is really sick. It's next to my house. Played with this wild ass band called Cyborg Octopus. So if you can tell by the name, they're just fucking crazy. They wear neon and their music's just like super insane. They have a saxophone player. So
Love it.
definitely check them out. And check out my band Void Dancer as well.
Shameless plug. Love it.
Hey, shameless.
I'm wearing the shirt, so I'm one to talk.
Yeah.
So Clint, we were briefly chatting before. We don't want to get too deep into this because we've already gone over this in the past episode, but the Seattle serial killer, do go on.
Yeah, apparently, I know we talked about serial killers last time. Apparently there's starting to be some leaks in the news of a Seattle serial killer where 3 bodies have been found posed in the same way towards the south end of town. So I don't have a ton of information on it. That doesn't look like the police are really saying much, but just be careful out there if you're a young lady and by yourself. So don't walk by yourself. Be aware of all the signs. Don't take drinks from strangers. You shouldn't do that shit anyways. Just drink coffee and stay at home and listen to podcasts and play video games and watch horror movies.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, it is a season. I feel like every season has its, associated holidays, and every holiday has its associated movies. It's now officially time for us to not feel bad about singing Nightmare Before Christmas songs and going to Hot Topic. And
hold on, you should always feel bad about singing Nightmare Before Christmas songs.
Okay. Did you see Danny Elfman's set at Coachella this year? First of all, he's fucking ripped.
Yeah.
Second of all, he's like surprisingly tatted for Danny Elfman. I just wasn't expecting it.
Is it me or like those all look like new tattoos like within the last 5 years?
All I'm saying is I've never ever seen Danny Elfman with tattoos before until this Coachella set, and it was like Adam Levine at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Wait a minute.
I don't know.
Something doesn't add up here.
Well, nothing with Danny Elfman adds up. And just to be fair, I do hate Nightmare Before Christmas. Danny Elfman,
now. Okay, let's just take a moment. How can you hate that timeless seasonal classic?
Oh, James, let me tell you about a little place that I worked.
You want to unpack a little bit? Let's go ahead.
Let me tell you about a little place that
I
worked. I worked at a place that you might have heard of called Hot Topic for like 9 years, all throughout high school and my young adulthood. And frankly, I just associate anybody with a Jack Skellington shirt as just being just the worst. Like it goes like Cookie Monster sweatpants, Jack Skellington. Yeah.
Minions don't factor in there anywhere.
Minions might be better than Jack.
I don't believe that.
At least I don't know what those are. Like I just know that they're little Tic Tac looking things. I never saw those movies.
Yeah, neither did I.
And then we had to listen to the like Hot Topic Halloween soundtrack, which for the most part wasn't that bad. It would be like, oh, like there's some like spooky Typo Negative songs and like, the Monsters theme and whatever. But like every 4th song being the Nightmare Before Christmas of like, what's this? I hate it so much, dude. It gives me some like weird PTSD and like
for sure. Hot Topic, where pop culture goes to die.
Yes.
But anyways,
people get paid $7.25 an hour.
Yeah, it's a reasonable exchange for the amount of labor that you put in.
It's better than making sandwiches, I guess.
It could have been worse. So okay, Nightmare Before Christmas is out. That one's trashed. What for you are your other like Halloween staple movies? What do you have to watch, or like what do you inclined to go back to?
So my partner and I really enjoy we enjoy the kind of fun stuff. So we usually kick it off with a Hocus Pocus or something, just because it's 90s nostalgia, kind of
Adorable.
whatever.
Yeah. Did you see Hocus Pocus 2?
We watched the new one last night to kick off Halloween
think?
holiday season. Not bad. I read a bunch of people shitting on it, but like nobody ever likes anything anymore, so I don't really trust. I don't trust reviews of anything.
You can't.
No, I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was half bad, right? I think the girl that they got to play Bette Midler in the beginning was like spot on. I think she did a great job. No, and it was just fun. It was like all the little parts you wanted to see, and with some new mysticism. Yeah, all around family classic.
It's funny that Hocus Pocus doesn't trigger you in some way, but Nightmare Before Christmas does.
It wasn't as like a widespread phenomenon of like they didn't have their own table at Hot Topic that I had to fold.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That's like 25% of Hot Topic's business.
Yo, if I saw somebody with a Hocus Pocus tattoo, I'd be like, "Oh, sick! What's that about? Like, what is this?" And,
righteous. Yeah.
What's this? No. But instead, it's some fucking like Tennessee trash with a Jack Skellington and like, and it's always bad tattoos. Like it's never good tattoo. So yeah, I just don't. I don't want to engage with those people.
Yeah, clearly you've got some unresolved tension there for sure.
Yeah, no, I know we're gonna flag on some Nightmare Before Christmas thing now, and they're all just gonna come for me. So
yeah, definitely, you're doomed. Okay, so Hocus Pocus. What else? What do you got for me?
Shoot, I honestly like to
shoot.
I like to get more into the actual scary movies, right? I think the last few years I've gotten into some more like a little more like gory stuff, just a little bit more like thrillery things. Like I don't know. I've gotten really into the I guess the Blumhouse, how you say it, Blumhouse.
Yeah, sure. They make tons of good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten into like a bunch of those movies lately, which has been fun. I've not watched the new Halloween yet.
Neither have I.
Yeah, maybe that'll be soon. What about you, bud? What are you getting into?
Oh, I mean, I watched the new Hellraiser movie on Hulu. Wasn't bad at all. Wasn't bad at all. Didn't hate anything about it. That to me is like one of the only things that has had a reboot that was worth doing, and they did it well. It was delightfully gory, tastefully sadistic, zero hope. They nailed the aesthetic perfectly, and it was great. I was digging on that. For me, Halloween, I don't know why, because it's not necessarily a movie that takes place on Halloween, but for me, The Shining is a Halloween movie.
Oh yeah, that's a spooky one.
It's just like a, classic psychological mindfuck. And I could really watch that movie at any point in the year, but at Halloween, there's not a ton of things I want to sit down and watch over and over and over and over and over again. But The Shining will do it for me. I can't really think of any other like stereotypical or otherwise Halloween movies that I like, need to watch. To be completely honest with you, it's always Halloween at our house. We're always watching scary shit. Courtney and I thrive on the blood and the gore, and Hereditary. Dude, to me, Hereditary is like a modern classic in the same way that I don't think people appreciated the lasting effect of The Shining. I feel like down the road, Hereditary is going to get their flowers in a way that they didn't, because that movie was fucked. It was supremely fucked, and they did every element of it. Ari Aster did every element of that flawlessly, even like the pagan shit. That is for me, any movie where they start doing occult shit, I'm like, that's wrong. None of what they're doing is right. It's not even believable. and the way that they present it in Hereditary, and to a lesser extent in Midsommar, but definitely in Hereditary, that's spot on.
Well, and they there's like layers of creepy shit going on there. So it's like, like even in the first 10 minutes, everybody's probably seen this by now, but at first 10 minutes, like, with you kind of see the specter of the grandma, and I was like, ooh, like the little light. I was like, that's creepy. And then there's the, the actual like real life stalking of the kind of cult, and and then there's all these other weird like kind of occult things happening, and like the possessions. So it's just layers of crazy stuff, and then just the super gory scenes. It's like, Jesus.
Loved it. I loved it. There were so many elements of that movie that could have been cheesy, and none of them were. They were perfect. In fact, I feel like he is the new modern master of horror. Ari Aster is, and the next couple movies he puts out are probably not going to be so horror focused, but watch whatever he puts out is amazing. He has some very obscure shit online. One's like a fake commercial called Tony's Dick Fart or something. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It looks like a Tim and Eric sketch. Then he has this independent film that got like a lot of acclaim. And it's super disturbing. It's a very, 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 very dark comedy, but I think, I can't remember. There's something about the Johnsons. I don't know. You should definitely watch it. It's supremely fucked.
Yeah, I don't think I've disliked anything that I've watched from that dude.
Well, I mean, these are like independent. This is before he was getting major budgets to do shit. He's just like fucking around with his friends. But even so, like you can see, he already understands how, through storytelling and through the camera work, how to build suspense, and like even in a 30-minute short film, have it really be impactful and just disturbing. Okay. The obscene gore, the unnecessary bloodshed, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's campy, sometimes it adds to it. But to me, that's not where the real horror lies. The real horror lies in the true and simple details of the things. And Midsommar and Hereditary really kind of crush that. I don't know. This one is like, people are really divided over it too. But The Witch, I don't know if you've seen The Witch.
Oh, yo, I loved it. It was a slow burn, but it was super good.
I love that movie too. Again, the same thing. The devil is literally in the details in that movie, but metaphorically, all the suspenseful moments, there's very little gore. Apart from the baby getting mushed up in the beginning, there isn't much. Yeah. And it's all like this eerie presence that's stalking the characters through the film. I don't know, that would be I watched that one around Christmas time a couple of years ago.
It's a good holiday family.
It's a good holiday film, and it was amazing. I watched it on a train. I think I was going to Philadelphia, and I was like super pleased with how good it was. But again, like for me, like the excessive blood, the excessive gore, it's fun, it's campy sometimes, but it can definitely take a movie like even Halloween. It can take a movie like Halloween and take what could be a very, like the first one could be like a good example where it wasn't too campy yet, but even there's like some of the murder scenes in there where it's just like so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then like, the arc of that character over the 20 fucking movies that they had to make about it. And he goes to space and fights Jason. I don't know. Yeah. Like it's fun. It's campy. But when they get to that point, it's not even scary to me anymore. Really, by Halloween 5, it's not scary. They're just like regurgitating the same formula every year to have a new Halloween movie.
Yeah, it's not actually scary by that point, because at that point, becomes like what they call like a cult classic, right? So they do a lot of callbacks to previous things, or they change it up so much that it's like, okay, well, we just need something fresh. Make him a demon, or like whatever, like burn his skin more. Right. Yeah, I feel the same way about like the Friday the 13th movies as well.
Same trajectory. Yeah.
They just kind of kept it going to the point where it's like, okay, like what the hell else are you even going to be able to do here? Like, send him to space. Has he killed the kid doing drugs in a sleeping bag yet? We'll do it better.
Can we do an Alien Predator crossover? I really feel like this franchise needs an Alien Predator crossover.
I mean, that was just inevitable, right?
Do you saw the new Alien Prey?
If you don't think the Yautja are eternal enemies with the xenomorphs, there's something really wrong with you.
You're right.
You're a small-minded individual.
You're right. I'm so ignorant. What the fuck do I know?
Yeah, they are eternal enemies, James. Everyone in the universe knows that. Baptize yourself in the blood of your enemies and come out clean on the other side. Has
there been a Hellraiser alien crossover? Cenobites and the Xenobites?
I don't believe so. Do aliens believe in hell?
That'd be sick as hell, dude. That would be sick.
Yeah,
that'd be the most metal horror movie of all time.
All right, trademark. Anybody listening, that's our idea.
Trademark, copyright, trademark. Okay, so we've hit a couple of the other big ones, but I know we're missing a couple. What are some other like Halloween staple movies?
I will throw out one more. I don't know if you saw it, but just speaking of excessive gore that was actually just so disturbing. I don't know if you've seen I think that latest one, like Terrorizer. Did you watch that one?
What's that?
The clown.
Is that the black and white clown with the sharp teeth? Okay. No, I haven't seen those, but I have seen them, and they're worth checking out.
If it's definitely it's not a sit around with the family and watch it thing, but it's if you're by yourself and you just want to feel disturbed, you're I want to see how disturbed I can feel by blood and guts.
On a scale of 1 to It, what is it?
To It, as in the movie It.
Yeah,
I think it's grosser than It for sure.
Yeah,
there's definitely
there's a step in there beyond. It's
exactly what you're talking about. There's a scene that you'll see in there that's just you'll do your.
I love that. I love doing that.
Yeah.
I love doing that when I least expect it too. When I'm expecting it or I know it's coming, it's less of a payoff. But when I'm not expecting it.
Well, and it's from something too clowns, which I think is overdone, right? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess people still are.
Okay. Okay.
Circus even still around?
Let's think about it though. Is it overdone because it dominated that market when it first came out, the first It, and then the second It, maybe Terrorizer emerges as a subculture in the middle of that, right?
Yeah.
And then It 2 comes out. I don't know if clowns are necessarily overdone.
The Insane Clown Posse is far past their heyday, I'll tell you that. I don't see as many juggalos as I used to, and I don't see as many killer clowns as I used to.
I wonder if there's a connection there. FBI said they weren't a gang, so.
Should we be the Insane Clown Posse for Halloween?
I think we are the Insane Clown Posse already.
Hi, this is Violent James. I'm Shaggy Two Dope.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Look what
Violent James is what I'm going to call you from now
on. It's a great nickname. I love it. Okay. I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't at least tip our toes into the zombie world, right?
Okay.
I don't know if these are necessarily Halloween movies or if just within my circle, these were the things that were played around Halloween. But I feel like Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. Yeah. Those to me were things that I would always see or always catch on Halloween or Halloween time. I don't know if I have a favorite zombie movie. I found, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, they were cool. And at the time when they came out, they were epic, but they were a little too campy by the time I was watching them, 10 or 12. But of our generation, I think probably the best or one of the best zombie movies that came out was 28 Days Later.
I was going to say 28 Days Later, even 28 Weeks Later wasn't.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. Yeah.
I like when the zombies can run,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel
really levels the playing field. Yeah.
Yeah, because like let's think about it. Like any of those things, like any of those classic horror tropes, right? Like it's like, oh, guys walking after you with an axe. It's like, you just run and don't trip over stuff. Like I don't know,
Right.
get in the car and go
Right.
away.
Right.
Same thing. It's like zombies. They're just like they're just coming towards you, and you're just like, cool. I'm just gonna walk fast enough not to get winded,
Yeah.
and just. But no, that's all spooky stuff. But yeah, no, I do like the idea of them focusing more on the like the virus, and it turns you just kind of feral almost, right?
Yeah.
I think that led to some cool scenes and actually kind of creepy in a way, right? Because if we've learned anything is that diseases can really fuck some shit up for a couple
Yeah. I
of
mean,
years.
we're not prepared for that at all. We're doomed. Yeah.
No, none of us are. We all live in cities. Like we're all just gonna die.
We're doomed.
Take all your bug out bags and whatever you think you're gonna do, but like you ain't getting out unless you're already out. You ain't getting out. Do you think you could escape from New York?
No, dude, I'm fucking doomed if I'm here. Bro, if I don't have a boat or a helicopter and they close the bridges, I'm stuck. I have to swim. I have to swim to New Jersey. Like, I don't know what's the greater defeat, staying in New York as it crumbles or having to swim to New Jersey to escape.
A refugee?
Be ridiculous. I think about it all the time. I think about it. I've thought about it every place I've lived, but definitely here. Like
we used to when we lived in Tennessee, we didn't live in such a sparse or such a heavily populated area. It was a little more sparse. We're like, okay, yeah, if anything ever happened, we just go here, and then you're like, yeah, just meet me here. We got stuff.
Well, I mean,
like,
dude, like, you know, we, especially where our houses were, like we were on the outskirts, essentially. I mean, there were multiple back road options for us to get between our houses, and just not a lot of people at any point in the year. Even when school was in session, there weren't that many people there. You know, granted, that place would have crumbled very fast in that scenario, but us being on the actual fringes of the city, we would have stood a better chance than any to get to some point of safety. But I mean, then there's a question like, how do you even stay safe in that? You only have so many bullets. You only have so many guns. You only have so much energy and so much food.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's the thing that people don't understand is the food and water situation of like, think about how like, you're like, oh, I haven't eaten all day. It's been like 4 hours and you're like, I'm in a bad mood. Like imagine running and just like living off of pure, whatever, just that animal adrenaline of like trying to kill me. No, I'm okay. Like all day. And then, yeah, you eat maybe a day later, if you find something.
Well, and having to be constantly on the move and, knowing where you're going and have some idea of like where you're going and why it's strategically a good place for you to be. I don't know. That's to me, that is, I mean, we saw it a little bit with COVID, but that to me is like the scariest element about a lot of like the modern zombie movies is how accurate it is in that respect. I think I knew we'd find a scam in here. I think it's a scam that they present it like people would actually stand a chance to like,
dude,
that's
what I always say too.
Watch if COVID was any sort of like just a taste, a tiny little example of what something like that would be. It would be over so fast.
Oh yeah.
None of us are equipped for that. Really?
I mean, well, if you get enough toilet paper, you can really just beat any.
Yeah, I mean, and when toilet paper becomes the currency during the great 2028 toilet paper shortage, you'll be living like a king.
Yeah. I've got toilet paper and I've got Twinkies.
Hand sanitizer. That's all you need, buddy.
There we go. Yeah. They always like to make it think like, it's like, yeah, people can just get away. It's like, no, if you don't start running out of that city immediately, like you're not going to make it. That's why, like, I always thought it was silly, like the, how popularized zombies got for a little while with like The Walking Dead and things like that. Right.
Yeah. That's really what I'm taking my aggression out on, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that show, cause that wasn't that scary per se. I mean, there was like little fright moments of like, oh no, popped out, but it was like more just the kind of like post-world kind of thing that's interesting to me. Like, we're still watching it. We watched the newer ones, but like at that point too, I've looked over to my partner and just been like, yeah, I would have killed myself by now. Like, I was like, for sure. Like, I don't want to live in that world. What is that? Yeah, once it's like, the only people you're gonna meet are cannibals, and everyone's gonna kill you. It's like, cool, man, I'm out. Like, I just want to hang out with my friends. Like,
really, like there is no living in that world. That's dunzo. That and though I don't think what we will see in our lifetime is a zombie apocalypse, but it's just like, I always find those to be a funny little peek into the reality of like, if some major shit went down, how quickly everything would turn to chaos. There'd be no order. You wouldn't be able to get anywhere. Your money would be worthless. Ultimately, elements of the purge begin to emerge out of the rubble of society. People banding together in warlike tribes, battling over turf and resources.
I love the Purge movies.
Like, and I those are. I also feel like those are a little exaggerated.
Oh,
but
of course.
I appreciate that they're even entertaining it as an option, because it's life imitating art, or art imitating life. I don't know.
Well, I mean, so let's think about it. So assuming, if you're listening to this, what the Purge is, right? So it's basically, it's a world not too far in the future, that is America, that basically they allow all crime to be able for 12 hours, including murder. So basically just like overnight, you can do anything you want to, and that keeps the country clean, and that like purges everybody of all their bad things they want to do. So like crime is like way down, right? Because you can just, somebody makes you mad, you can just kill them that night, or do whatever you need to do. So that's interesting, because as they go on in that series as well, they kind of start tapping into at first it was kind of just like, oh, this is just like a crazy thing, and then it kind of goes into like a class war situation, or like dabbling with like bits of like race and things like that would go into a situation like that. Now, I don't actually think the purge would actually happen in this country, but if it was, James, would you purge?
Fuck no, I wouldn't purge, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? I would, bro. This, even in a world without a purge, I'm trying to get a bunker. I'm trying to get a bunker that can take a direct nuclear blast. And during the purge, I'll close that gate, and I'll fire up my hot tub, my subterranean hot tub, and I will sit in there. And if an earthquake happens, we're still going to be all right.
You're going to be watching. You're going to be watching No Scary Movies, just Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser on DVD.
Definitely. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Everyone needs to just fucking give him another chance. He didn't do anything wrong. So let that man back into this conversation. Anyways, fuck no, I wouldn't participate in that. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. And no, of course, America, we would never get to that point, because we'd have to fucking agree. We'd have to agree to purge, and we'd never agree to anything here. So,
yeah, you're right. That would take some agree. It's like, so can we all agree?
That's a serious fucking agreement. Yeah, it's like a big fucking deal, dude. To get everyone to be like, okay, I know we all have differences, but one day a year, it's okay if we kill each other. I don't think they're going to allow that. I don't think anyone's going to allow that. No one's going to like that, which is why I would abstain. I would not be involved in that at all. I mean, again, just think about it. I only have, as a single individual, even if I had a small band of militia type friends, we only have so much ammunition. We only have so much protection.
Yeah, but you only need it for 12 hours.
Well, but a bullet, if I don't have the proper equipment to stop a bullet, I'm ill-equipped for that fight. I can't assume that everyone's going to have a gun, but I have to assume at least one person's going to have a gun.
Oh yeah.
And if I don't have like body armor or okay, if I had a tank, all right. If I had a tank, I would participate in the purge. Okay. I'd
Yeah,
participate
but
in the merch.
there's something to be said about just getting real worked up and getting matching outfits with all your best friends and just like hammering nails into a baseball bat. Be like, Gary, are you ready? Tonight's gonna be so crazy. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're dressed up like bunnies and we're gonna ride our mopeds around town. Like the pageantry of that all, and it's such a bond too, right? You like, we purged.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I
It's
think
like
there's
sports.
yeah,
It's like sports, just like sports. Maybe we can. Maybe America can agree on this if we just present it to them as sports. We gamify it here a little bit, like we make a companion app, and whoever gets the most kills gets an award.
Yeah,
whoever gets the most
betting.
beatdowns, you know what I'm saying? Like we could gamify this and really turn it into something.
Now that sports betting's legal, I mean, that would just be the next logical step, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You go into like a Las Vegas casino and they're like, yeah, welcome to the kill room. And actually, isn't that in one of the Purge movies? Aren't they like betting on something or like they're watching somebody on a camera?
Okay, listen. Okay, if something
If not,
can
we
be
just
bet
went
on,
to Purge 7.
yeah. If something can be bet on, it can be bet on. So even if it's not implicit in the movie, someone in that world is betting on this shit. Like there's definitely some guy in his bunker who's got like a bunch of live feeds on from around the globe, and he's just
he is the draft king.
Yeah, the draft king. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not saying I would like really purge in real life. I just do think that would be fun, just to be like, all right, cool, anarchy, let's do it.
Yeah,
but that gets real quick, right?
It wouldn't be one day. That's the problem. Is that it wouldn't be
when
one
the
day.
siren goes off, everybody just stops.
Yeah, right. They wouldn't stop. They wouldn't stop at all. They would just continue. That would just be the new reality. I don't know. That's The Purge to me is a hilarious movie franchise because of how dark it is, but how much people fucking love it.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. There's no monsters. There's no.
Well, there are, but it's a little more believable. It's a little closer to home. It's a little less intangible.
But there's no like supernatural, creatures. There's no. It's just like, no, it's crazy
fucked up motherfuckers. Yeah,
crazy fucking dudes in weird masks, killing people. Yeah,
yeah. Now you in Seattle, you're probably positioned much better than I am in the sense that you have ready access to wild terrain quicker than I do. I'm sure from your apartment, it's probably no more than 20 or 30 minutes before you could be in the fucking mountains.
I'd say like with traffic, I'd say like an hour. Yeah, dude, on Wednesday.
All right, that's not bad.
On a Wednesday, I can't get out of my damn neighborhood. So I do
so
have
maybe
water
not.
close
Yeah,
to go,
you're
which is
doomed.
helpful. I've got water really close.
Do you have a boat?
I do have. We've got a stand-up paddleboard that I would for sure just blow up real quick that we could both fit on and just get out.
Escape raft.
If you get to an island, you're good for a minute,
Yeah.
Until somebody else with boats and guns come. But
yeah, for sure.
You at least get that nice romantic view where you could just watch the city burn from an island.
Mm.
And that's really what it's all about, right?
Yeah, that is really what it's all about. Just getting a good view.
It's a front row seat.
I think I would prefer the zombie apocalypse. I think for me, is boring. Society collapsing on itself is boring. That's boring. Like that might be the shit that we see in our lifetime, but that's fucking boring. People, we can do better. Okay. That's why I'm voting for the comet in 2024, voting for the comet. But for me, it's like, give me the craziest shit. Give me a zombie apocalypse. Give me aliens. Give me, exactly. Give me a comet. Give me like some 2012 earthquakes where earthquake happens and an entire city is swallowed into the abyss, into the very bottom center of the world. That made no fucking sense. Sorry, that's a whole thing I have about that movie. But that give me the big cataclysm.
Yeah. Yeah, but then what? So that's just everything. That's just extinction of all life, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, we're not that special.
What you want. You're
Well,
a true
it doesn't.
nihilist.
It doesn't have to be complete destruction. Like even the zombie apocalypse thing, like that would be fucked. That would spread so quickly, and that would like society would deteriorate, and not in the sense that we'd be fighting against each other. Is we wouldn't be able to fight the spread of that thing. It would just spread, and that's it. Like at some point, the entire population, more of the population would be infected than is not infected, and then it's just a matter of time. You can only hide out so long, and before above ground, anyways, before the zombies get you.
Well, and that's the sheer number of it is what's crazy. Like we were watching like Walking Dead the other night. We're like, it's been like 15 years. Have we not killed everyone yet? I was like, do you know how many people live in North America? Like it would take a very long time.
I don't think in that whole show, I don't think they ever even left Georgia.
No, they sure went to like South Carolina or something.
So one of the things that I did appreciate about Walking Dead is they did a really good, accurate representation of a more accurate representation of resource hoarding and resource management than most zombie things do. Like a lot of the show, they're walking places. Because gas is a commodity. They can't go to the gas station and get gas. I think there's a lot of like really critical things that come along with that type of collapse that most people are just not even thinking about. Like the idea of total collapse or a zombie apocalypse is scary, but the reality of what that would mean is even scarier. Like again, we got a little taste with COVID. If COVID turned people into flesh hungry zombies, that would have been over in a couple days. A couple days. I don't know where I was going with this, but
if they could run, if they're walking zombies, I'm good. I'm getting a Tesla.
Even if they are walking zombies,
I'm getting a Tesla and a solar charger.
you going green, huh? Carbon neutral. Yeah, nice. There you go.
Yep, the world's over, but it's not my fault.
Yeah,
I didn't do it.
Yeah,
so that would be the way you'd want to go, is just a giant cataclysm. So like dinosaur extinction type shit, where it's just we're all done, and they just find our bones, and then we're the oil.
Again, it's hey, renewable energy, baby.
Irony. Yeah.
I again, like it's not that I prefer that. It'll just if we're gonna see cataclysm, for me, if we're gonna see some shit in our lifetime, I just prefer to be cataclysmic.
Like asteroids or something, for example. Scariest movie I've ever seen. What's that one where Aerosmith sings a song? No, I'm just kidding. No, I know there was that recent asteroid that they were like, hey, we're gonna test putting running the spaceship into it to see if it could set it off course. And I was like, why? Like, is it because it's gonna hit us? Like,
great idea.
Like, yeah, well, we just want to see if it'll work. I'm like, yeah, why?
Yeah.
Because it's going to hit us. So
maybe
I think you almost had your wish.
Maybe. I mean, look, like statistically it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, we're overdue for earthquake.
It's already happened. Coast. Yeah, there's a whole other one. I don't know how this necessarily equates to Halloween, but I don't know. I think,
Sorry, I'm just thinking of a funny sign that I read of thinking about like cataclysms and earthquakes and stuff. So if you go out to the coast out here in some places, they'll have, like what to do in case of a tsunami kind of sign, right? Because it's, obviously like
sure
near the Ring of Fire and all that stuff. So there's just signs that just say, in case of tsunami, get as high as possible.
Wrong thing to tell the people of Seattle.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. No, that's easy. Great. Yeah.
Sure, bro. I got you, dude.
Yeah. Dude, this is going to be perfect for the apocalypse.
Sick. I brought my dab rig.
Yeah, dude, it's called Satan's Nom Noms. You're gonna love it, dude.
Hilarious,
Tsunami
dude.
won't even touch you.
That's amazing. Yeah, isn't there a fucking volcano out there? Don't you have a volcano close by?
We've got Mount St. Helens, which obviously is like in like Oregon, and then we've got Rainier, which they say is not active anymore, but everybody started freaking out a couple weeks ago because they were claiming to see smoke coming from the top of it, and like they're like,
Yeah.
oh no, it's venting. Here we go. It turned out to just be a cloud.
Sounds
So I was
about
like,
right. Yeah.
this is gonna be crazy. Here we go. And then
Yeah.
they were just like, oh no, it was just cloud, just weather. It's like, that's a bummer. Yeah, I don't think that there's any I don't think we have a real active volcano problem unless there is a big giant earthquake, because that would shake something loose, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'd be interesting. You know, we're overdue for one of those too. So
We're overdue for a lot of things.
we're overdue for a lot of things.
Living on borrowed time, baby.
It's a lot of options we have here. A lot of options.
Just choose the cataclysm that works best for you.
Yeah, choose the cataclysm that works best for you is what we're trying to do here. I really don't I don't know, man. For me, the scariest shit is the realist shit. Right? Like fucking Freddy, Jason, they don't, that doesn't, I know that that's fake. There might be some jump scares. There might be brutal.
There's also 20 movies for each of those that tells you how to beat them at the end.
Right. So like, you know, what there's resolution with some of those. Like what is there to be afraid of? But like a fucking cataclysmic earthquake, or, I mean, dude, even COVID was like, I can tell you this much, the day before America shut down, everyone probably would have said, America will never shut down. This pandemic won't close the entire world for a year and a half.
Yeah.
It did. And like, we were just hilariously unprepared for it, which only made it worse. We were just making it worse. The whole time we were making it worse.
We did okay.
Okay. Yeah, we did okay.
I did okay.
Yeah,
So I don't know about everybody else's house.
We did okay. Yeah, sure. I guess you could say that. I just feel like that was like a low stakes stress test and we failed it.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking zombie apocalypse. Even less like food shortage, water shortage.
Oh yeah.
Those things are far more scary to me than the zombie apocalypse or any fucking Halloween movie, because it's like a thing that could happen. And like the consequences of that are, people just don't even understand how fucked shit would get if there was an earthquake that broke all the bridges between the east and the west coast of this country. We just don't even understand. We got a little taste of it with the great toilet paper shortage of 2020.
Yeah, right.
That was it. That was the closest we got. We had to use our hands to wipe our asses for a little bit. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Plus, you got a snack when you're done.
No, we worked it out, dude. We did a good job. We didn't have to really go anywhere for a couple weeks. I just like I walked up to the store. So everybody's freaking out about parking. And I was like, here we go. Let's just like do this. And I just brought all my little bags that I thought I was never going to use all of them. All the little reusable bags. And I got, we just got like a thing of toilet paper because we're trying to be nice. We're like, hey, we're not going to get it all. Just take some.
How considerate.
I got a bunch of alcohol and a bunch of potatoes. And we just sat around and got drunk and ate baked potatoes for like 2 weeks.
Nice.
And wiped our asses.
Yeah.
No, but in that scenario, yeah. People don't understand how cushy their lives are, right? Like those little things that ruin their day of just like, oh yeah, that's long gone, buddy.
Yeah.
Long gone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All those things were luxuries.
Yeah. But if the world ended, I think, you know, I'm not obviously scared of this. I think what would be the scariest though would be if some sort of like actual real life rapture happened. I think that would just freak me out because that'd be like, oh shit, I really fucked up.
I'm doomed. I don't stand a chance in this world.
You know, my friends got about 30 more minutes of having a good time.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to heaven. You're going to hell for sure.
The rapture would be tight though.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's pretty cataclysmic. Like from the descriptions of it in the book, it's not going to be a pretty thing. So,
Oh, which book is that? I don't think I've read that.
I don't know. It's a little book. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So,
I've actually, I haven't read that since college. The Cliff Notes, anyways.
Cliff Notes. I think we would be really. Again, I don't think this is a Halloween movie, but it does describe a terrifying scenario, and I guess it's a movie that could be watched around Halloween. Terminator. The Terminator scenario, right? We didn't even talk about that. The Terminator scenario. Let's riff.
Terminator's a year round. You can watch that year round.
Yeah. Oh, no, for sure. That's what I'm saying. But what I mean to say is like it's fucked up enough to where you could watch it at Halloween and it would qualify as like a scary movie, a spooky movie. Not necessarily spooky, but definitely intense.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched the Terminator movies. Actually,
they're good. I mean, the later ones aren't necessarily the best, but it's all right. But that is like I can't remember which one it is, but it's the one where like you see Skynet turning on. It's like one of the later ones. And the shot that I remember from that is like at the very end, you see all the nukes getting blasted and like all the nukes going off around the world. That was cool. And honestly, I will say this, probably out of any fucking movie, one of my favorite scenes of all time is the scene where she's at the playground in her dream. She's watching the bomb go off. I think it's in Terminator 2.
She's on the
and
fence.
She just melts off the fence. Dude, that
one was
amazing. But the Terminator scenario, like it's not necessarily something that's going to happen tomorrow, but it is a thing that is being discussed with more and more legitimacy. And, I don't know if we get into any type of safe position in that conversation with how much we depend on technology right now. And again, like how much convenience technology adds to our life and the things that it's made us forget, like remembering phone numbers or even reading a fucking map, driving your car without assistance.
Oh yeah.
Like those are things that are just generationally gone now. Like people don't remember opening maps. People don't remember looking through a phone book. If all cell communication went out, most people are just fucking doomed. I don't even know if they would just go into a cataclysmic state. There's also kind of tying this into what we were talking about before. There's this like theory that I've had for a while. And we're already in the zombie apocalypse.
Ooh.
But we're in the zombie apocalypse because we're all zombies to our screens. Like when you walk outside and you just look around at how many people are looking at their screens, like not even paying attention to where they're walking, I feel like there's an argument to be made that we're already in the zombie, but it's techno-zombie apocalypse. Which is way sicker. Yeah, dude. It's like cyberpunks, but with zombies, bro.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do think that's the way the world's going to go out, though, as a man-made disaster. Unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be like nuclear, something like that's going to.
Well, but again, will it be like a human nuclear thing, or will it be AI destroying humans with our devices?
Well, and that's what's creeping me out too. It's like, because obviously AI is in the conversation now. It's like a thing that happens it's like, hey, like AI can produce art, AI can do all these things. Artificial intelligence is dangerous as fuck. Like, because if there's not the right kind of, I guess, like parameters on it of like keeping tabs, it's going to the simulation is going to do what the simulation is programmed to do.
The simulation wants what the simulation wants.
Correct. So if it's programmed to like learn more and gain these things, we've already seen with like the internet, like what hackers can do with technology. Like, hey, here's this technology. It's cool. You can make art with it and do silly things. Be like, oh no, I'm going to scam people out of money and
steal your identity and yeah.
So why wouldn't somebody just be like, oh yeah, and here's all the nuclear codes for the Western Seaboard, and give me all this money or you're gonna die. Or if it's just robots doing, and I don't think there's some situation where it's going to be like the Matrix where robots are just fully autonomous and they basically just farm humans. But no, I mean, I think that would be the end of the world.
What would be the end of the world?
Either like nuclear devices going off because of like human technology, or humans in general, but probably human technology, because I don't think any of these world leaders have the balls to actually like push the button.
Well, I mean, there's like a political philosophy behind it. It's called mutually assured destruction, MAD. It was like an agreement that was reached in the 80s amongst the world powers with nukes, that they're like, if I press them, everyone's pressing them.
Yep.
We're all going out.
Yeah, we got enough to blow this world up 3 times, so let's go.
Oh, dude, we have enough to turn everything on the surface of this planet into ash. That I remember at one point when I was getting down the whole nuclear missile iceberg and nuclear armament iceberg, like one of the missiles that we have, like an ICBM, it has multiple warheads, and multiple warheads that are way bigger than any other bombs that we have dropped on any country, including Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Multiple, and that's one, and we have thousands of ICBMs.
Oh yeah,
that you are right in the sense that is like it may be like the path of least resistance when it comes to the destruction of the human race, because we have an abundance of these things. They're incredibly dangerous. We live in a volatile world, and a volatile world situation, an increasingly spiteful world. And if the stakes get high enough to someone, justifying the righteous killing of everybody, or the righteous use, martyring themselves in the process and taking out everyone with them, it's super fucking likely. Because again, it's like, dude, we've got fucking planes in the air, submarines in the sea at all times with these fucking things on them.
Yeah.
Just waiting. We probably have some shit in space, maybe some satellites, maybe some drone craft up there just waiting to fucking drop one of those sweet little missiles.
And if it's not the sudden
directly on the asshole of the world.
If it's not the sudden death of the nuke, it's definitely, like I said, just like human technology of just us just depleting the world to the point where it's like unlivable, and people are just gonna start dying.
It's funny. I always found this movie to be a slightly darker take than what it presented itself to be. WALL-E.
Yeah, dude. It all comes back to Disney. Hocus Pocus and WALL-E.
Right? Well, I remember seeing WALL-E for the first time and thinking, Jesus Christ, Disney, this is pretty fucked.
And everybody's like so fat that they can't move. Like all the ones that are still around, they have to live on a spaceship.
It's like, for Pixar, it's a surprisingly dark take on the future. And, pretty fucking accurate. It's
still pretty cute.
It's very cute. It's a very cute movie. It's very fun. It's fun for the whole family. And it teaches an important lesson that we're doomed. Yeah. We're doomed. And hopefully we can... Yeah, hopefully we can build that great big spaceship in the sky, or else we're going to be buried in our own garbage.
All right, I changed my answer. WALL-E is the scariest movie of all time.
It is, man. It's like a sleeper. Like you're watching, and you're like, oh, this is funny. At first you don't really realize it, but then you realize and you're like, oh, this is funny. And then for me, like halfway through, I was like, there's no winner here. WALL-E does whatever he's doing. He's not going to, these people are fucked. These people are doomed.
And there's already drones. Like there's the little like Amazon delivery carts that just driving by themselves, and there's whatever, the dogs, and there's
I mean,
Roombas. Wally's just like an advanced Roomba.
Yeah, sure. That is getting crazier, like the types of
and it's not being addressed as much as it should, but like the water shortage that's happening in the Southwest, of just like all these companies have basically just like, oh, we have the water rights to it, and then people who
privatize the water. Yep.
And then people just aren't going to have access to it. Like that's the slow death,
Well, I mean, again, like it's that's not necessarily technology, but it's just basic human greed. But
well, all the, like I said, just human resources, and like the resources that we waste, we're just depleting the earth to the point where it's just going to be unlivable. Like
yeah, we need to go to the drinkable water. Yeah, for sure. Well, drinkable water levels will go down. Undrinkable water levels will be going up. New York, dude, the city is sinking, and their fucking plan is to build concrete pedestals on the southern tip of Manhattan to extend the livable space into the water on concrete pedestals. I don't know how they're planning on like elevating the rest of the fucking island where all the people live, but these concrete pedestals, that's their plan, and they're doubling down. They've already built like 2 little villages off of certain parts of the southern tip of Manhattan. That's their plan.
They can just take the water and make more bagels. That's what makes them so good.
Really, honestly, we need to take this city down to rubble and turn it into what it has destined to be turned into since it was founded, a giant bagel factory. All right, we're done. New York has nothing left to offer. It's sinking. Our best plan is to build concrete stilts. Fuck it. Let's just make bagels. Let's let the Manhattan, let's let all the bum piss and all like the rat feces and all the pigeon feathers.
Let's make a real everything bagel.
A real New York bagel. Everything bagel. Yeah. Just let it all.
New York slogan changed from I Heart New York to I Bagel New York. And that's it.
That's it. And it's just a picture of a bagel. That's it. Bagel Town.
Yeah.
Anyway, this place is doomed. In any scenario, New York is fucked. And that's a funny thing. Like, there is no single cataclysmic scenario where if you're in New York, you stand a fucking chance. Unless you have a helicopter or a speedboat and you can quickly get to those things, you don't stand a fucking chance. There's no fucking scenario that you win in New York.
What about a jetpack?
Have you ever seen Escape from New York? All right. It's going to be really difficult. Okay. Kurt Russell showed me what it was going to be like, and I don't like that world.
Yeah. You ever seen The Warriors? They're just trying to get from one part of a town to another.
That's exactly. The sea levels aren't even rising in that movie.
The Warriors, correct me if I'm wrong, the Warriors was just the first Purge movie. That's all it was.
It really, that's actually, it really was. That's a really good point. I feel like there's a copyright infringement suit that could be had there.
It's like, you've just been served. Can you dig it?
I guarantee you at some point in one of the Purge movies, you can fucking find someone going, come out and play. Yeah. Guaranteed.
Clapping the bottles.
Guaranteed, dude. It's because we can't come up with new ideas. We just have to rehash and reboot.
Except for I Bagel New York. I think that's the best one.
It is. It's the best thing that we can do with this town. Of all the problems that this place has, it's the one thing that we can salvage from it, and it's the fucking bagels. That is all. That is all. It's doomed. Any scenario. Water level rising, hurricane, like we don't stand a fucking chance. Earthquake, if we ever suffered from even reverberations of a nearby earthquake, we're ill-equipped for that. I don't know. It's really funny. I'm telling you, dude, missile silo. You get a decommissioned missile silo and you turn it in to an underground bunker, and then you never say hello to anyone above ground again. Ever. That's the plan. Get to the bunker, stay in the bunker. The bunker can take a direct nuclear blast. Okay?
So I like how we've been talking about horror movies for almost an hour now, and the most realistic things that we're coming to are Wall-E and Blast from the Past.
That is really funny. That is kind of really funny.
The scariest of all. Insidious demon, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. You're not fooling me, buddy. Wall-E, now that puts a fucking lump in my underwear.
Yo, let's end it on that note. I'm gonna go watch Wall-E.
That's a great point. We did it. We'll be on next week. Thank you for joining. I don't think anybody joined, but go watch some movies. You filthy animals.